Just wanted to drop a real quick video for you guys. I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time today. Just wanted to wish everyone a happy Independence Day. I hope all of you are enjoying yourselves and relaxing with family and friends. For me, the only firework that I'm interested in seeing is this one. And it was, of course, from the movie Independence Day. I think they were telegraphing something to us that makes a lot more sense now than it did back in 1996. We will not truly return to being a free and independent, liberty-minded country until something like this happens. Because there are two places in North America right now that are controlling everyone. The mainstream media based out of New York, of course, and the government in Washington, D.C. See, while everyone is paying attention to all the fireworks, nobody is, at least the fireworks here in North America, nobody is paying attention to the real fireworks. You see, this is over now. Russia just deployed 180,000 troops to two major battlefronts. It's over. There's no way the Ukrainians can, even with our help, can overcome this. And that's going to set off a chain of events that will light up the rest of the world in a way that people won't even recognize it in a couple years. So yesterday we talked about this mass infestation that is moving all across North America. And of course, because it's so controversial, we had to put it over at the Patreon channel. And a lot of people decided, you know what? I'm going to take the plunge. I'm going to go sign up. I'm going to go see what it's about. And believe me, if you haven't seen the video over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel, it's something you're going to want to. It will make perfect sense to you. When you put everything together, it'll be one of those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't see this. It's absolutely perfectly logical what they're trying to do and why they're trying to do it. If you'd like to join us over there, we have two levels. The most recent video is at the $5 level. There's 3 or 4 videos at that level, but the vast majority of them, the 270 other videos, they're for those at the $1 level. That's right. To be a member over there, it's only $1 per month. It's not per video. It's not per week. It's even less if you sign up for an entire year, fully refundable, first 90 days, no questions asked. What's the difference? Using Vimeo servers as opposed to YouTube or others, we can keep things away from the prying eyes of the censors, at least for now. And there's a lot of things that were out, available to be seen, even as recent as 6 or 7 years ago, that are gone now. And I wish I had the foresight to have recorded them. Now, if you think about it in the context of those who came to the New World, there's a lot of talk about this around 4th of July, 1776, the Founding Fathers, 1620, the Mayflower, 1492, Columbus. They left Europe because, at least in the case of the Pilgrims, because they felt like things were just not working out well with the King of England. And I'm sure they had to have had conversations with their kids, just like we do now. I'm sure their kids would have said, well, whether you live under the King of England or whether you live under the King of France or the King of Spain or Portugal or anywhere else, isn't there going to have to be some type of governance, some type of leadership that somebody is going to disagree with? And if that's the case, why are we bothering to move to the New World? There's not going to be bakeries. There's not going to be places to buy clothes or buy shoes or do anything. It's just going to be this giant wilderness, and it's going to be 1,000 times worse. And of course, they would have had to explain to their children, yeah, for a while it's going to be. This is a picture of what the Mayflower was like, and I found this really great cutout of what it looked like below decks, the 100 people that were on that ship. Can you imagine an entire deck, nothing but supplies, the lowest deck? The rest of it, the 100 people, no toothbrushes, no toothpaste, no soap, no showers, no bathtub. There was water, but probably you had to dip it out of a barrel. You couldn't really light fires to cook things. Everything would have been salted fish or some other type of thing that could be created without cooking. Can you imagine for 3, 4, 5 weeks? No bathing, nobody brushing teeth, no sanitation. This would have been worse than a prison ship. Even prison ships had facilities. You see, if you wanted to, right now, you couldn't do what our founding fathers did, what the forerunners did when they left England, when they decided to build a ship and say, you know what, we're out, we're done, we're going to sail to the New World. Try that now. You wouldn't make it out of port. Even if you were a billionaire, let's say you wanted to build a vessel this big, but only maybe put 100 people on it. Even though there's room for hundreds and hundreds, you would use it all for extra supplies, and you wanted to sail a ship like this to Antarctica, for example. We've talked about Antarctica a lot. And you want to say, you know what, that's it, we're going to go down there, we're going to start over. There's a couple, 150 of us, and we're going to take all these supplies, we're going to take years and years and years worth of supplies, and we're going to go down. You wouldn't get out of port. Noah's Ark would have been seized by the government. A lot of people say the end days, things will be like in the days of Noah. No, it's worse. Noah's Ark, he would have got it halfway done before they would have arrested him. He'd have been on a psych hold. You see, there's cruises you can take to Antarctica if the cruises are licensed and permitted by a treaty organization country. Otherwise, it's entirely forbidden. You can go down there and you can hop off the ship and you can walk around on the ice at the Antarctic Peninsula, but it all has to be done under the guise of the government. Even the King of England wasn't this strict. Let's say that in the future, we had some billionaire that got a hold of some technology to create an airship like this, and it could hold hundreds of people. And he bought 700, 800, 1,000 acres out in the middle of nowhere and wanted to build this and then launch it and say, you know what, we're heading off to Antarctica. We've got all this advanced technology that we've created privately, and we're going to live aboard this thing until we can make some type of a settlement down there. Wouldn't be allowed. Wouldn't be allowed. You'd never make it out of U.S. airspace before they would shoot the thing down. You would never make it out of U.S. airspace. They wouldn't even let you leave. See, that's, people say that, the days of Noah, things were really bad. Compared to now with the tyranny of the U.S. government, not even close. To even leave to go do anything, you need a license to fish in America. You need a license to fish, to literally take a stick, attach a string to it, put a hook on the end of it, and grab some bait and go pull a fish out. You need a license from the federal government or from your state government to do that, or they will jail you. Never in the history of mankind has man believed himself to be free and lived under so much tyranny. This is a picture from just the New Jersey Port Authority. The Port Authority has attack dogs and armored vehicles with lookout posts for machine guns. The Port Authority. Satellites track the positions of every ship, every aircraft. Are you crazy? People talk about freedom. People talk about, we live in freedom, we live in liberty. I'm not going to go live someplace like Venezuela or, someplace like a horrible... Really? Really? Tell me again about liberty. Tell me again about freedom. It's insane. It's the ultimate, and this is why I talk about it at the Patreon channel so much. It is the ultimate psychological operation when you can hold somebody in this level of tyranny and this amount of chains and make them celebrate the fact that, or see them celebrate on their own, the fact that they're free and have liberty. When there has never been more tyranny than we have now. Never. No king of England, not even the Pope stopped people from going to the New World. Anybody who wanted to get in a boat and sail off to the New World could. Nobody stopped them. Nobody stopped them. You could build ships as big as you wanted to. load them up. If you could have the supplies, they'd say, well, good luck, God bless, off you go. Even the king didn't have the hubris, king of England, or any king of Spain, whichever one, didn't have the hubris to say, well, no, because God ordained me to rule, that could cause problems, it could affect our economy, so, we're going to say, no, these people you can't do that unless you pay me. Now, the king himself had his own expeditions that he financed for sure, but they weren't the only ones. The Spanish were here first, the Portuguese, the Italians, the Dutch, and of course, yes, the English. But really think about it. Think about it for a minute. How, who remembers the big fight in 2020 over that little thing they wanted to put in your arm, and the cruise ships and Florida, and how the federal government said, well, the ports are all federally controlled, so it doesn't matter what Florida thinks, we're going to, stop these cruises from happening. And we had to even fight for that. Think about that for just a minute. Voluntarily, just to go for a cruise around the Caribbean. I mean, with full knowledge of what the risks might be, the federal government still said, no, not without our permission. Just to go on vacation. Licensed to do virtually everything and anything. But yet we celebrate this holiday. It's absolutely crazy. So, but once again, not begrudging anyone. I'm just saying that perhaps instead of letting off fireworks to celebrate the fact that you are free, maybe let them off as a warning and tell your kids you're doing it for that reason. We're letting these off as a warning that if the tyranny continues, we will exchange the fake ones for the real ones. Because it's already starting. World War III started a long time ago. But now, 375,000 casualties already in 18 months. Just the beginning, just the warm-up. So, anyway, God bless. Pray for each other, lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.